Howdy folks, welcome back to Let's Play Dead Cells. I'm Nye. Last time we played, we kind of walked back here and found that there was a secret hidden right here. That I was kind of surprised by. Just kind of hiding there in the corner. Don't know what it was there for. So, I mean, some people I've been talking to think, and this is normally true, but it's not true this time, that I'm way ahead on the recordings. And usually I am, so don't get me wrong. Usually I'm very ahead on the recordings. You know, I record, you know, basically dozens of, you know, videos ahead of time. That's usually how I do things. For a variety of reasons, I have not done so this time. The original reason was actually because Trance had asked me not to. Because he wanted to be a major part of these, and then just hasn't really been able to join in. So that's part of the reason why I haven't. And then the other reason is that it's not that I don't like the game, it's just that the game has not had as much of a grab on me as some other roguelikes have. Not for any particular reason, it's just I don't find myself to be quite as good in this one. Ow. Can you stop? I don't find myself to be quite as good at Dead Cells as I am at some other roguelikes, and part of my fun in games like this is, you know, the success. I'm not gonna deny that. So because I haven't quite had the success that I would perhaps like, let's see what the cell door does. What do we got going on here? Hi. Oh, we've seen this one before. Okay. We've seen this one before. Okay, I think... yeah, it's got a meal tray. I'm just going to go ahead and recycle that because that is probably going to come better to me as money. But yeah, so I really haven't, I guess, gotten as much out of this as I have out of some of the other games that I've played. Just for that reason. You know, it really is for the reason of just, pretty, you know, not as good at it. So yeah, I've got to kind of get up. But yeah, so I'm not as oh, not good. Oh jeez, that was my face. Please don't do that. Yeah, so I'm not as you know, stupidly over recording as I usually am with these games. You guys really are seeing me kind of learn in real time here. To a great, you know, I don't know how good that is. I don't know how much you guys actually end up liking that. Do I want to go for this? I think I do. Okay, can't sell that. I think we already have basically the exact same thing. So I'm not going to waste any more money on that because I want to be able to do upgrades. I think upgrades are... okay, come on. Dude turned around as I was going in. Okay, this sucks. This sucks a lot. I'm actually going to have to heal on floor 1 because of this crap. Okay. There we go. Absolutely. Ouch. Irritating nonsense here. Okay. We got it. We got it. I like my backstab weapon. Let's roll in here. Go here. Yeah, so you're going to see me doing a lot more of this. Do I want knife dance? I don't think so. I think I'm going to go ahead and recycle that. I think I like what I have more than I like that. So just got into a rather large argument with an acquaintance about Monster Hunter lore, which was cute. I think we're going to go ahead and take the duplex bow. Drop the electric whip. I just don't like it as much. So we got in this just kind of large argument, and the crux of the argument was his assertion that the hunters in Monster Hunter are genetically modified super soldiers. And I said that, doesn't hold as much water as one might think. And part of the argument that we ended up having was that I haven't played all the Monster Hunter games. I outright asked, hey, is there evidence of this in the games? I haven't played all the games. Is this something that I'm gonna see in the games? And I was told no. There's no evidence. This is fan crafted. So we had this big argument that ended when it was like, no, this is in the games. And I was in there going like, wait. I asked you if it was in the games. I specifically asked that question. Is frantic sword critical hit when you have less than 50% health? Oh my god, that's so good for me because I'm always less than 50% health. Okay, so is this better for victims up against a wall? I think we're gonna go for it. Try it out. Oh, I like it. Okay. Let's go ahead and reforge. Bonuses to targets. So we get the bonus to the frozen targets. So I think we're gonna stick with that. I don't think we're gonna do that. That sounds good. Okay, good. So all of our bonuses right now are to frozen targets, which is awesome. I'm definitely gonna take YOLO. Go ahead and heal myself. Yeah, so it was this big argument that stemmed from some miscommunication at some point in the conversation. The miscommunication being, is this in the games? No, it isn't. Wait, yes, it is. But apparently a large part of the argument came from the fact that there's apparently a art book called Monster Hunter Illustrations. And this art book, apparently this art book outright says that, there's shit going on, basically. Apparently it mentions that there are, the art book itself, mentions that there was, what is it? There we go. Some sort of, super machine created out of monster parts, and it mentions a war and all this stuff. And this stuff is basically just, it's not in the games. And I'm one of those weird people. Oh my god, this is gonna suck so much. Okay. I'm one of those weird people, if it's not in the games, I'm not particularly interested. And that's not the fault of the games, but generally what I feel is that if you don't put the lore in the game, you're kind of copping out. Basically, the lore's on the game. I don't feel as if that lore is canon because it wasn't in the game. Which, it may be a flawed thought, but basically, if you don't make it canon, it's not canon, is my thought. So yeah, we had this big argument about it. But it was kind of this interesting thing because we were talking about, evidence of. I really want the double crossbow-matic. I really do. I would love to have that. I think we're going to have to hope that we can come back and pick it up later on, or that we just get one, because I think that item is so good. We were talking about evidence, and my big thought is that, I think we're going to take this as opposed to the wolf trap. But my big thought is, what their argument was is that we have characters who are able to survive these gigantic jumps, right, of extreme distances, and your character just survives them as if they weren't a thing. So, I mean, that was part of the argument. I was like, okay. And they said, so how do you explain that? I said, well, I really can't. And they said, okay, so therefore Super Soldier. I said, well, you know, sure, we can say that. But let's also not forget that your character is not particularly super. Your character gets trashed by even low-level monsters if you don't have armor. And they said, well, but you don't get trashed by, if you play well, you don't. It's like, well, yes, if you play well, sure, but if you dodge, if you're really good and you fight a high-level monster, and you dodge everything, yes, you can beat a high-level monster with the lowest tier weapon. But that requires that you dodge absolutely everything. What do we have going on here? Desk. Does the prison warden have desks all over the place? They'll pay money. And more gold, more than last time. That's a very good question. What was this warden up to? But the point is that if you dodged everything as a hunter, yes, you can beat any monster without gear, but most hunters don't do that. Most hunters do not have the ability to dodge everything under the sun. Most hunters do need to have a weapon. So the argument that, well, you can do without a weapon, that doesn't really match. But also, his argument was that, you can take a hit from, like, Devil Joe without being carded. And, like, the point is, well, yes, you can, but not without armor. Without armor, if you take a hit from Devil Joe, you're a dead man. Like, you're getting carded no matter what. It's the armor that makes you survive that hit. So my argument was that you're not a superhero, it's just that we have these really awesome bits of armor and such that we get from these monsters, and that's what makes us awesome. It's the armor, not the hunter. So we got this really big back and forth about this because both of us feel very differently on it. I think that your hunter's just kind of a more normal, maybe stronger than normal because you can hold these big weapons. But apparently there is some evidence of some of this stuff. We have these, apparently ancient weapons that we're using. That's actually a known Monster Hunter thing. So we know there's these. I'm just gonna wait that out. We know there are these actual weapons, so there are special super weapons. That's definitely a thing. But it definitely kind of at the end of the day, I'm sitting here going like, well, we have that, but still at the same time, your bow, which is, not a super weapon, does as much damage as one of your super weapons. You have nothing I want. Which, bow is draw strength. That's physical, so you could say that. But also, part of what a bow is its materials. Because if it doesn't have good materials, it doesn't have good draw strength. So, it just keeps it going back and forth. It was an interesting argument, but what really caught my attention was the concept that, again, oh, hold on, gotta focus. Okay, it's the concept that there's lore that came. Not as much after, but separately from the actual game itself. And I don't like that. Like, there's something to be said for something like Dot Hack, for example. With Dot Hack, the lore came from a separate, but, like, kind of... Okay, that was bad. The lore came from, like, this separate, anime series, but... Notably and importantly, let's go ahead and just heal up real quick. Notably and importantly is that there was lore in the game that was fairly self-sufficient. You didn't have to, there we go. No, pass on that. You didn't have to, like, where did I get the shield from? There's gotta be something you can do with these statues. If you didn't do the TV show, yeah, you missed out on some of the lore, but there wasn't this, like... The TV show didn't completely change the damn lore. Like, it didn't go, well, here's the lore of the... At least, not that I recall, I might be wrong. But it didn't go like, hey, here's the lore of the video game, but this TV show completely changes it. It was, we're building on it. it drives me up the wall when games go, or any media, like books do the same thing, TV shows, movies. It doesn't really matter to me. It all feels the same to me. But when you go, okay, well, this is what we've established. We're going to, like, retcon this shit. And retcon may be the bad word. May not be the right word for this. But, I'm thinking something like, J.K. Rowling and the whole Dumbledore is gay nonsense. Again, nonsense, not necessarily the word I really want to use here. But the point is that, like, from what I recall from the books, there was not a lot of evidence of this. Like, Dumbledore does stuff, but I didn't see anything that really out and out says he's gay in the books. The movie, has a little bit more evidence of it in the movie. But that kind of ends up being it. Like, there's not this, gigantic thing. And then J.K. comes out and goes, okay, Dumbledore's gay. It's like, okay, cool. It is awesome that we have representation, but that was like an after-the-fact thing. It almost comes off as an afterthought. I can't necessarily fit it into my headcanon because of the fact that it wasn't something that was kind of made explicit in the books, if that makes any sense. I don't think I want that right now. I think we're going to go ahead and start upgrading melee. Let's go ahead and reforge the fire. I kind of don't want to reforge it because that's a good modifier. But, I guess we'll reforge the fire grenade. I like generating a shield when used. That sounds awesome. We're definitely using grenades a lot, so I think we're going to go ahead. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and do that. Give me another brutality bonus and kind of move on from there. But yeah, it definitely doesn't feel, it's not something that's in there. Something that's added after the fact. And as an enjoyer of insert things here, that kind of drives me nuts. Because it's like, okay, that wasn't something that was actually in there. It wasn't something like that we were, settled in from the beginning. And what drives me even more is that this wasn't even like... This was just an art book that apparently is not even in the States yet. So it's like, where could I have learned this from? Ha. Okay. I'm just gonna stand over here. Jerk. Oh god. There we go. But yeah, this wasn't even something that, like, you had to have just gotten this art book. And I think that also gets to me, because when we say art book, I don't sit here and think canon. I think concept art. Hello. Cluster grenade. I end up thinking concept art when I think art book. So I'm thinking, like, ideas that were abandoned. I'm thinking, again, not stuff that you necessarily take seriously. So even if I'm just going to kind of sit up here, you guys have fun. So even if it was something that I had an art book for, I probably wouldn't have paid it that much attention. Because, again, it's like concept art. This is not real. Or it's not real the way some other things are. And this person, kind of brought this up to me. It was like, hey, do you just not like chasing down, stories, or do you just want it hand-fed to you? It's like, no. There are plenty of games that I enjoy that do not, spoon-feed the story to me. He's like, well, maybe you should have read the lore on the, on items more. It's like, well, I read lore on items. I tend to do it a lot, actually. But I think there's a fundamental difference between lore on an item and something that's just not Yeah, we're not picking that up. That'll get me killed. Lore and an item, it's something that's not even in lore at all. Something that's a completely outside source. That's not me not hunting down lore. That's lore being put in an obscure location that I can't find that is not even in the game. I like games that have lore. I like games that make a point to build their lore. What I don't like is games that don't put their lore in the game. I don't think there's a good excuse for games like that. We have plenty of awesome games like, do I even want that? Do I even want that? I don't. I'm just gonna, yeah. We got games like Mass Effect that builds its lore in a huge way. So to sit here and go, okay, well, you have to, hunt down your lore externally, just feels, it feels like a cop-out, honestly. Did we explored, okay. Yeah, we explored everything so far. Cool. I don't know, I just don't like that idea. And, I'll say this, it's not the game's fault that I don't like the idea. Okay, don't let me open the door. That's fine. Sitting here trying to open the damn door, and the game's like, no. Oh, okay. God damn. Get against the wall and die, please. Okay, let's go ahead and take that. God, that took like all of my healing to make that happen. Now I've just got to play it ridiculously safely for the remainder of the floor. God, those guys just suck so much. Hi, get burned. I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about that. I'm curious if, if you guys feel that I'm just a little bit, out of touch on it, or if you guys, I'm curious if you guys agree, if you want the lore to be in the game, or if you don't mind, outside sources adding to the lore. And again, it's not even a question of adding to the lore, in my opinion. It's the lore not being there in the first place, I think. And just being added by the outside source. It's... I'm thinking Star Wars Extended Universe might be a good example, but the difference is the Star Wars Extended Universe was not intended to begin with. Where are my opponents? Where are my opponents? My opponents, they don't exist. Is there a... Okay. You're joking, right? How do you want me to deal with that? Can I... I'm just leaving. Just leaving. Not even dealing with that. Not even worth it. Where is this dude? Go away. Okay, got it. Yeah. Again, it's not the concept of lore being done externally. It is the concept of lore not even being in there in the first place. Okay, how do I... This. Where's this go? I have no idea what that is, but I want it. Extended healing blueprint. I'll take it. Okay. We are going a long ways from nowhere here. Okay, what do I want to upgrade? I'm thinking I just keep on straight up upgrading brutality here. Get in my face. Okay, I think we're gonna need to upgrade our melee weapon soon. Actually, we're gonna need to upgrade all of our weapons soon, but melee's definitely gonna be one of the ones we're gonna need to upgrade, just because we got kind of nothing going on right now. What's this? Barnacle. Oh, hello. Yeah, could you not? I'm just gonna be over here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh my god, look at this clusterfuck. Nope, I'm down here. Y'all just enjoy your fire. Okay. Is there something here? Feels like there should be something there. God, I have to play so safely right now. Just deal with those guys. Okay. Just get up here. Yeah. Like, this is how safely I'm playing. Like, I am not even dealing with this crap. Like, these guys, screw this nonsense. I mean, just completely screw this nonsense. All of you get lit on fire. All of you die horrendous deaths. Like, I do not even want to deal with y'all. Oh, hey. That's a soul. I mean, we're getting plenty of money. But what we need... we need more weaponry. Like, we haven't seen much in the way of weapon drops recently. Have I missed? Like, there was that zone up there that I'm gonna have to go look at eventually. Okay, get away from me. I think we're still just going straight damage here, which is helping. God, I have to move so slowly just to be safe in this area, which I think is definitely gonna be my downfall when it comes to some of the later areas of the game. Like, especially that zone that we were in a couple of runs back. I forget what zone it was, what the name of it was, but the darkness zone. You just don't have the ability to move slowly in there. Okay, that's the Black Bridge, but we definitely don't want to go there yet. There's more to see. Oh my god, look at this crap. Let's freeze y'all in there. Yeah. Yep. So what do we got over here? Nothing good, apparently. I'm just going to shoot directly over that, apparently. Don't mind me. Can you... Yeah, just get burned on fire. Thank you. As usual, the last area is just one of these guys walking around by himself. Yeah. So not involved in that. Okay, well, we're basically out, which is awesome. I'm thinking I do want to go figure out what was up here, though. Yeah, definitely worth it. Absolutely worth it. I think we're going to go ahead and up purple. Okay, nothing up there. I'm hoping we have another elite in here. There's a specialty room down here that I'm seeing. Is this an elite spawn? This is a shop. Okay. What do you have? So, we could go ice grenade. It's ice grenade 5. Not going to be able to get the money together to actually make that happen, though, unless up here is insanely profitable. But I don't think there's any way it really could be, based on just kind of how much room is left in the zone. Oh, crap. Well, that sucks. They will unfreeze. Here, have some fun. Okay, we got some not fun up in that corner. Yeah, I mean, we might hit 9,000. I'm really not thinking it, though. This is basically the end right here. So what are we looking at? Yeah, so we're not going to hit 9,000. So unfortunately, we're going to go and we're going to hit the boss. Oh, there's another area up there. We're going to go hit the boss, and we're going to have, like, nothing to throw at him. I don't really like this idea. So I really hope, like, we get something in this direction, maybe. Just gonna get out of his way. Okay, wait. Looks like there might be something down here. I don't know. Okay. I mean, I don't see too much in the area down here, so I don't think we're going to be seeing incredibly much going on. But okay, we got one of these guys, got one of those guys up there. And I think that's the end of the zone. Got the money together. Do I want to buy a much stronger ice grenade while I'm here? Because that's basically what we're looking at. I won't be able to do anything else. So do I want to buy a stronger ice grenade? Because this area did not come with anything else. Did we get anything that's not upgraded? No. And actually, my ice grenade is frankly shitty. So I'm thinking that the ice grenade may be the best way to go right now. I mean, unless this has something really good on it. Okay, so this is the question. The ice grenade works no matter what, right? So we don't really care. So I could do the fire grenade 4. And doing so would allow me to upgrade it. Which would do more DPS, which is important. You know what? I think the fire grenade 5 is probably better than the ice grenade 5. It's the same damage. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Because that gives me money that allows me to do the upgrade. Okay. Guys, I think this is where we're going to say farewell. I'm going to try to keep these to about 30 minutes, so if we start seeing these longer things, I will take breaks in the middle. But I think we're going to say farewell here. When I come back, we're going to go to the Black Bridge, which I think we're going to win, and then we'll go from there. I'll see you guys soon.